Hi, I'm Casey, and this is my video for a book review for The Cat Who Went Into the Closet by Lillian Jackson Braun. This is a series of books about a cat. There's like 10, 15, 20 books, 30 it looks like, and they're all mystery, and the premise behind the books is the main character. He's not an official detective, but he figures out cases with the help of his cat. He has two cats, a male and a female, and it's the male cat who... So the joke behind it is they're not sure if the cat is coincidentally helping him, or if the cat is psychic, or if the cat knows what's going on and he's helping him. And so specifically in this book, The Cat That Went Into the Closet, so the main character, Quillerin, that's his last name, Quillerin, during the winter time where he lives, he has to shovel himself. And because he doesn't want to do that, he rents a house where the township shovels instead. So he decided to stay in this house. It's like a castle mansion. The woman who used to live there moved to Florida. Her grandson now owns it, and he rents it out to this man. The cat, I think Coco is his name, goes in all of the closets and pull things out. And as the cat is pulling things out of the closet, there are clues to answer, who done it. I don't want to say what happens as far as who done it. I'll just say, okay, so two people end up dead in this book. And with the help of the cat, research and talking to people, he figures out how these two people actually die. So what do I think about it? Well, first of all, I couldn't figure it out until I got to the very end, what happened. And the funny thing about it is, well, they don't really tell you who did it in the beginning, but technically they do, but I just wasn't able to put two and two together until the end. But I give it a 4. And the reason why I give it a 4 is because there was a lot of unnecessary details. So there was, the main character ends up doing a radio show because he finds the neighborhood that they're in centuries prior to, because it takes place in the 1990s, I believe. This book was written in 1993 or 1996, one of those years. And so it takes place in the 1990s. But in the 1800s, there was a wildfire that destroyed almost the entire neighborhood and all of the people. As years went on, they lost historic information about it. The cat ends up finding journaling from someone who knew about it. And so he comes up with this radio show and presents it. And during the process of him trying to figure out who killed these people, he puts on this radio show in front of schools, in front of churches, in front of whatever. The author actually tells you and shows you and gives you detail of these shows, what happens during them. And some of the details were 100% unnecessary. If you removed the details of what's going on, lots of times, you don't lose anything. And so I felt like she spent way too much time giving details on things that had nothing to do with the actual story, had nothing to do with the plot of the story, had nothing to do with figuring out who did what. It was getting frustrating because I was trying to get to the point of who did it. And she was giving information that when I got to the end of the book, realized she didn't need to give. I would say because of too much excess information, I give it a 4. But the storyline was good because I liked how there were like 4 different stories that seemed to have nothing to do with one another. And then when you get to the end, you realize they all had something to do with one another. And so she kind of correlates all these stories. And so I thought that was smart, clever of her as far as putting these 4 stories have nothing to do one another and then combining them to see they actually had everything to do with one another. There was a lot of shock, a lot of surprises. Overall, it was a good book. I would definitely recommend it for people who like mystery and whodunit type books. And like I said, it's a series. You do not need to read the entire series to understand each book. This book was my first time reading this series, and I didn't need the other books to understand. But it's a series of where a man's cat helps him solve mysteries, and they don't know if the cat is doing it accidentally or if the cat actually knows something, and I don't know, they believe he's psychic and he's actually helping this man solve mysteries. And so again, Lillian Jackson Braun, The Cat Who Went Into the Closet. And if you really like it, like I said, she has a whole series of cat mysteries. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.